Birth control makes women unattractive and crazy. Global warming is over. Muslim plot to kill the Pope. What do these headlines all have in common? Is it the level of outrageous material or the amount of misleading information? Are we actually still surprised to be seeing these type of headlines anymore? The abundance of these headlines tells us that the public has no problem seeing them and have actually grown accustomed to it. Have people lost the ability to think for themselves? Apparently so. The media plays a significant role when it comes to what the public believe in and often has a hand in enforcing misinformed opinions. But the real question here is, whose fault is it? It seems like it's so easy to manipulate information and feed an opinion, and in fact, it is easy. It is easy if your audience makes no effort of their own to find out the truth. Fear-mongering, by definition, is the action of deliberately arousing public fear or alarm about a particular issue. Just look at our news networks for this fear-mongering phenomenon. So many people still believe that terrorism is the #1 threat to America, which is a completely false statement because you are more likely to die from a car accident or even heart disease than from the actions of a terrorist. According to a Washington blog article, you are 17,600 times more likely to die from a heart disease than from the actions of a terrorist, and 1,048 times more likely to die from a car accident than from the actions of a terrorist. See, these are the things that the media won't tell you. I'm not saying that the media should be actively telling you about how dangerous it is to get into your car and make you fear for your life every time you get inside one, but I think you know where I'm going here. It seems to be all a matter of the ratings. The media sometimes doesn't give all the information, and in some cases fails to provide any information. Since so many people believe that matters regarding foreign policy are more important than any of the other issues we have here at home, the media doesn't even try to bring the other issues to light. They just go about beating the existing ideas to death because that's what's easiest and that's what keeps the people watching their programming. It also seems to be a matter of saying what the people want to hear. Since so many people already have preconceived notions about what terrorism is and what a terrorist looks like, the media just goes about feeding off of the state of the people instead of rightfully informing them. Since so many people associate the Muslim faith with terrorism, the more conservative media outlets have made sure to push these Islamophobic ideas onto their audiences to match their opinions. There is no shortage of these types of headlines, stories like Muslim killers or Muslim convert beheads woman in a garden. These headlines are all around us, and since the media is such a big part of our everyday lives, it's no wonder that they have had such a big impact on us. But the more liberal media outlets aren't innocent of this either. With a new president in our White House, the liberal media has gone in a frenzy speculating about what is to come for our nation's future. Whatever your political views may be, I think we can agree on a few things, like how we are not going to war with Iran, but then why are there articles like this? All they do is make people scared about the possibilities of war and make them think that something bad is going to happen. In this case, the media is doing nothing productive but causing commotion and instilling fear. This quality of reporting is harming America. People are too caught up in problems that aren't really problems, they're just distractions, while the real problems are sliding under our notice, going unnoticed and unattended to. The media won't change, so it's up to us. We are all guilty of simply looking at a headline and getting all of our takeaways from a few sentences. Take this Newsweek cover, for example. What are your first reactions to the cover? Probably something along the lines like, this cover is very pro-gun, probably against strict gun regulations, and so on. But this is where you're wrong. See, you're supposed to actually open the cover and read what's inside, a step that many of us forget. And in this case, the argument is for gun regulations, saying why that they would be beneficial for a country. But let's face it, no one actually sits down and reads entire articles anymore or sits through entire full-length news stories. In this new age of technology, everything is so fast-paced, and even longer pieces of work are sometimes shortened down to fit into the rush of our busy lives. So many people forget to actually do the research. The news networks have the right to The news networks have the right to present information in the way that they do. But since the news networks have the right to present information in the way that they do, infringing on their rights would be prohibiting freedom of speech and freedom of the press, which we don't want to do, but that may happen. Everything going on right now may seem so far away. It may seem like these things aren't relevant to you, but that's not the case. See, these things might not be affecting you directly right now, but in the future, these will be your problems. So we need to start caring about them now. All these issues are really important. Right now, you're probably thinking, I'm just a high school student. Who cares about these irrelevant topics? But that's not the case. We need to start being more active when it comes to these issues. So the next time you see an outrageous news article or hear some questionable words come from the mouths of a news anchor, don't be so quick to believe everything. Do your own research before forming an opinion. Because in the end, these issues will be our issues. So becoming aware of things is not bad. It will benefit us in the future. And once that time comes, we will not only be unaware of how to deal with the burdens that we have, but we will be completely unprepared for all of them. So it's time that we take more action when it comes to these issues. Thank you.